and welcome to this July video. In this video, I make a lot of different art, and that's because I'm kind of going through a change in my style. I wanted to kind of keep the message but change the form of it, if you will, change the way that I create. And I just needed to free myself up a little bit, experiment more. I feel like I didn't give myself enough of a chance to experiment in college, and so now that I'm kind of free of a lot of external voices, which I really enjoyed the input while I was there, but I really feel like I needed to see what comes out of me when I have nobody telling me what's good in their eyes and what's not. So that's why I have 3 different paintings in this video. One is kind of like my old work, which is the bear that you're going to see first, and then I created a giant abstract, which I think I went too big too quick, and I needed to practice some work making on some smaller ones. So the second piece I do in this video, I didn't actually end up liking, which is okay. It was an experiment, it was practice, it was good. And I learned a lot from it, and that's great. And then in the next 2 paintings after that, I really feel like I got into a groove and I found a process and kind of an aesthetic and style that I really liked. So please enjoy this video. Sorry if it's a little chaotic, and there should be another video coming out pretty soon because I got to go to my sister's wedding, which was really fun, and I took a lot of footage there. So enjoy my July video. Thank you. So I just started this painting here, and I'm super excited because I'm going to be using some of Jenny Sapple's techniques. So I've just started like laying down a lot of color, and then I'm going to go ahead and start blocking in main shapes today and adding in the third bear on the right. And I want them to kind of all blend together. So excited to do this. Hello and welcome to the voiceover part of this video. So the month of July was a rather strange one, I have to say. I'm sitting here and holding Hamilton in my lap as I record this. And summer in Boston is nice and humid. It's only 80 degrees, which is kind of cold for summer standards, at least from a Californian's perspective. But with like 80% humidity, it makes it somewhat kind of swampy outside, and by that I mean like it's not hot, but your body physically sweats a lot, which is very interesting. So Hamilton and I are very warm because our air conditioning doesn't work, which is great. But as I was saying, the month of July was kind of a weird one art-wise. I was super focused towards the first half of the month painting animals, and I actually really like how this painting turned out. It was super fun. I felt like I was in my element. I knew what I was doing. And about towards the end of this painting, I was researching art galleries to apply to because I really want to get the business side of my art going. And an artist popped up that I kind of knew about, that I had kind of been in the same circles with when I lived in Northern California. And she was showing at an art gallery here in Boston. And so her work is very abstract, and she's been doing abstract since almost, I think, for the whole time that I knew of her. So I don't know if she's ever done realism before, but I went to her showing here in Boston at the Lanou Gallery, and her work was amazing and super inspirational and just very freeing. And so I really felt a redirect in my art making process. Like, I applied to these galleries with all my work with animals, and not to say that I like gave up instantly. I did get rejected from a bunch of them, which is fine, but and it wasn't because of the rejection that I wanted to switch up my style, but I've just been feeling like there are greater ways to express what I'm feeling and express more of what's inside of myself. And so I kind of hit a roadblock with, and there's nothing wrong with looking at inspiration from outside of yourself, but I've been doing that for a long time, and it feels like it's not my work, if that makes sense. If anybody's an art maker out there, and like, I love being inspired by things, but I really wanted to see what happens when I get into my own studio, my own space, kind of away from outside influences, and just let what is inside of me, all the stuff that I've been learning about and taking in as I go out into nature and explore and learn more about national parks. I really wanted to see what shapes, what textures come out of me that is my own unique voice, if that makes sense. So that's a lot about abstraction as you're watching this video of bears that we're painting, but further along in the video you're going to see I'm going to drastically switch up my style, and I really feel like the word for me this month was redirect. I've been building and building and building towards this one thing, and it feels like there's a shift coming where I'm going to be changing a lot of what I've been building towards, which is, not gonna lie, very scary, very frightening. People, I feel like, think less of abstracts and put them down as easier, but it actually takes, I feel like, as I've been tentatively starting this process, it's a lot scarier just making something. It's not out of nothing, it's coming from like looking at other art influences and your experiences around the world and colors that you see around you. So it's like you're like a sponge and you're soaking up all these things and you're putting it onto the canvas, but it's like not based on anything. And it's hard to tell when it's done and if you've overdone it and what else it needs. And I'm trying to balance not looking like somebody else, but also like practicing and letting it flow through me. Yeah. So it's a tentative balance. It feels very much like up in the air, trying to figure out what I'm going to do. I've had like, doubts of like, should I do this? I've been building towards something for so long, and now I'm going to change it up drastically, which I think is normal for most artists. A lot of people have doubts about their own work, about, where they are in their career, art-wise. So I think that's normal. That's fine. I'm okay with it. It's been a lot this month. It's been really fun, really freeing, really exciting, but also scary. So enjoy the rest of this painting before the shift happens. We got snackies and these new glasses. I don't know how I feel about them. They're pretty wide, but that's okay. Walden Pond. So about the second week of July, we went to Walden Pond on my day off just to get cold, soak in the nice, delicious water, sit on the beach, eat some snacks, read a book, the usual. And I love Massachusetts just for the amount of history that's here. Walden Pond is where Henry David Thoreau wrote all of his famous works, and so being here, I could really just feel just like how magical and beautiful the rich history of ecology is. Especially, it was just so beautiful, the foliage surrounding the lake. So So it is my day off finally. I just finished this piece right here and put it on the easel to dry. It's very thick with oil, so it's going to take a while, but I'm finally done with it. It probably took me about 2 weeks to do, so a little bit longer. But I also feel very inspired right now with this new body of work that I'm going to be doing. Yeah, but this video, because I'm feeling so inspired, I'm probably going to be showing you like a ton of different paintings, which is fine. And I hope you enjoy them. So yeah, without further ado, let's paint. And for today, as we're going to work on this painting behind us, it's changed quite a lot. I started with some pours and I decided I didn't like it, but I now have a reference photo and a new change of direction for this piece. So I'm going to try to abstract my memories and experiences from that picture, which I will include here and let you guys see. Hi again, it's me. So this piece started out with a lot of beautiful pours because I think I was going to make it something else. And I thought I could incorporate pours into this style of work, and then I think for some reason it just got too muddled and like the shapes I feel like were not working, and I think I just kept covering and covering the pores until it was almost gone. So I don't really know why I didn't like this piece. I think it was just too big and I didn't really figure out the process of the work yet. But I saw it through to the end and I didn't give up on it, and I do feel like it's finished. While doing these pieces, I really feel like I got into a groove and I rediscovered a love for like black that I didn't know I had. I've always kind of steered away from it because when you mix it with other colors, you don't really need it. Like in that bear painting, I was using a lot of dark browns and greens, and it was kind of making a dark color. But here, just using flat black, I was like, wow, this is it. So, and I think starting with black shapes really helped me build up the color around it. and it's kind of like a puzzle, which I really like. It keeps my mind active. Like, I have to figure out where to put something and how to make it work and how to make your eye move around the piece. So this piece is inspired by this really cool crab that I saw on this Cape Cod beach that we went to in Hyannis, I think it's called. And it was so cool. I've always just seen like red or yellow crabs, and this crab was like a deep ultramarine blue. And so I wanted to draw it. It was dead, which is a little sad, but I took a picture and wanted to do like a little beach abstract here for Cape Cod. And so I love the textures and how it came out. So this piece was made with a variety of medium. Here I'm using oil paint, and there's also chalk pastel and oil pastel in there. And I really like the opportunity with abstract work that I get to use different mediums and kind of different ways of making, and just like giving my hand a break and something new and exciting to do. I don't know why, but I really enjoy that process and like the drawing aspect of it too. So I really, really, really enjoyed this piece. There was some spray paint in there if you saw, and it's called Detritus after, it's a dead crab on the beach, and kind of inspired by just all the little things that you find when you're walking along the beach, beachcombing. I've always loved looking at seashells as a kid and trying to see what one I can find, if I can find a super rare one. And so I think I love abstract because it gives you the chance to be so childlike and to stay curious. And so that's what I wanted to capture in that piece. With this piece, I was experimenting with being a little bit more loose and letting some of my old techniques kind of come through. And so I wanted to like do a pour on top and see what happened. And I wanted to mix some oil paint in. And I don't know if I liked it, to be honest. I think it was definitely less successful than the other piece. So I don't know if I will be using this technique again, but I think it worked out. And I call it polarity because it reminded me of like icebergs and the poles melting for some reason. I think it was the mix of red and blue. But thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it.